Now, if you're eagle-eared, you might have heard a bit of a strum of a guitar.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
You're just doing your job. No one's going to complain at that.
No, I'm just not paying attention because I'm being an idiot. That's what it boils down to.
Stop it. Now, if you are... if you're down with your music, you know your music, you may well there recognise the voice of the one and only Sharleen Spiteri. Fair to say, things are going very well for you in the world, not only of your multi-gazillion selling band Texas, but in your actual real life as well. Things are good.
Things are very good. Yeah, life's good. Life is good. Yep. It's all, look at me, I'm looking at you going, where's she going here? Where's she, but like, she's trying to.
So many places, many places we can go.
Slightly blushing. People keep saying it and I kind of go, I look at them going, are they talking about engagement? It's weird because in my mind, that world and the world of, being in Texas does not cross.
Really?
Well, it doesn't cross in my brain because, it's weird. I mean, obviously it does cross, but it's just getting engaged just seems like, really people are interested? I don't get it.
Don't you? You've got a big rock on your finger.
Oh my God. See, now I'm sitting in my hand. I'm like,
you actually sitting on it.
Jeez. That is so embarrassing. Yeah, he bought me a nice ring. Well, he better blooming done. I've done 10 years already with nothing.
See, this is the thing. You have been together with your fiancé.
My fiancé.
Does that sound strange to say fiancé?
Do you know what? It doesn't. I've not said fiancé because it's kind of like a really weird thing to say. But I must admit, I was just getting to a point where it's a bit like, really? I'm like 50 years old. I'm just about to turn 50 and I'm going to be saying my boyfriend. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Some kind of weird. I'm quite happy that I'm going to be saying something else now. Hopefully I'll be saying my husband at some point in the near future.
Did you, Charlene, have to drop any hints, or were you quite happy with it kind of rolling along as it was?
No.
I mean, you didn't play Single Ladies by Beyonce every kind of 6 months.
I wasn't giving it. I don't see no ring on my thing. I wasn't giving any of that stuff. No, I wasn't really bothered. I mentioned it once. I think I said it once because my mates were really taking the mickey out of him, and all my mates, of course, were just really poking about at him when we first kind of got together after about 2 years. And then I said something and he said to me, I remember him saying, I'll ask you to marry me when I'm ready to know when you're ready. Yeah,
Oof.
and I looked at him and I did growl. And and I went, well, I might not be ready at that point. And he went, well, that's just the chance I need to take. And I was like, ooh. And I thought, never, ever even joked about it again.
He's confident, isn't he? But then I guess, I mean...
I think that's just the way he is.
But I mean, he's head chef at Odette's, and Odette's is such a lovely restaurant in Primrose. A very romantic place as well.
Yeah, well, what can I say? He's a romantic guy after 10 years.
Now, I said things were going really well for you with your forthcoming wedding. Any dates? No,
nah, I've never. Seriously,
you're not going to wait 10 years.
A new album coming, and you think I'm doing wedding plans?
Yeah, and your 50th on the way. Big plans for that? No,
I have no plans for that because I am on stage in Paris that night.
The actual night of your 50th?
The actual night, which I am getting a little bit, like, I keep twitching about it because we're doing 3 nights in Paris, and the first night is my birthday. And I'm going to look at this. Who decided on the schedule? Who put the schedule together? Whose brain was thinking it'd be a good idea first night with my birthday? Because,
was it you?
I wish it was me. But no, who would you do the 3rd night in Paris? Make sure that falls on her birthday. Because now I'm going to be, I'm really sorry, I can't do anything because I have to sing tomorrow like some plonker.
Yeah, but all you do is you become queen for the year. I had my daughter on my birthday, on my 39th birthday. So obviously her first birthday was my 40th.
Right.
Nobody cared about me. It was all about the fact the baby was 1. Fair enough. I just put my birthday off for 6 months and had one heck of a celebration 6 months later.
Like that. I might do that.
That's what you've got to do.
I might just do normally I have my birthday running for a week. 50, I'm going to run it for a year.
Just do it.
They're going to hate it. I've been sitting out there because I've been waiting to come on, and we'll be sitting out there, we've been looking online, and I keep putting hints down going, oh, look at that lovely vase. Oh, look at that. That's a really nice drinks cabinet. Oh, look at that. They're all going, very funny. So yeah, I'm laying the grounds. I'm doing the groundwork, getting ready for them.
This is good.
Charlene, can I ask you one thing before we get into music? And of course, we will talk about the music. But how does someone as kind of talented, as intelligent, as swagged out as you end up becoming an Arsenal fan? This makes no sense to me.
Do you know that one? I thought you could put somebody else's name in there. I didn't think you would say you. I was kind of going like, who's he talking
Stop being
about?
so Glaswegian. You know you're all of the above.
I can't. It was well. Basically, when you come from Glasgow, obviously there's like your Celtic or Rangers, and then what happens when you move to London? It kind of depends on who your team was in Glasgow. Then your connection to that.
Right.
Now, first of all, I moved to London, and then Charlie Nicholas was associated with Arsenal. There was always a Celtic Arsenal association, and I was living in North London. I was living in Islington, so that became my team, and that was what the connection was.
Oh, it's devastating for me. But
on so many levels following the weekend.
I'm literally like, I'm going, please don't tell me Chelsea.
No, I'm a Spurs fan.
Ooh.
I know, right? I know. And we'll talk about Thierry Henry in a little while.
As much as it pains you.
But, you've got to admire greatness wherever it comes from, and Thierry Henry is a great player. However much.
I thought you were putting my name in that one.
It's right, well, you're both there sharing a Porsche together.
You've got to explain this now. You can't drop in that Charlene's just sharing a Porsche with Thierry Henry.
What?
I kind of quite like that. You just leave it standing.
Let's just leave it.
Just
let people find it out.
Let's work it out, shall we?
He's good.
See what I did there? Tell me about Let's Work It Out, the track, actually, because it's such a joyous disco. So you look like you're having lots of fun in the video. The gold shoes, may I say, are a moment.
Do you know what? That was it. I literally was going, I based everything around those gold shoes. And then when they're like, yeah, okay, you can do the bit, but put your jeans back on and everything. And I was like, oh, but my gold shoes. My little gold shoes. And then I said, well, I think I need 2 pairs, so I'll have a green pair as well. I went a bit mad on those shoes, bought 2 pairs. Yeah.
That's what you can do when you sold 35 million records.
40 million, actually.
40?
I just thought I'd throw that extra 5
million in there. The press release says 35. On BBC Breakfast a couple of years ago, it said 38. And I was like, well...
Nah, honestly, I don't know who makes it up. But there again, they say on Wikipedia that I come from Bells Hill, which I don't. So it drives me to, I'm like, no, that's Sheena Easton, not me.
Sheena Easton.
Sheena Easton.
Not a celeb you've had beef with?
No.
Good.
I think she could probably give me a good go, though. Do you know what I mean?
We won't set up that celebrity fight club anytime soon.
Don't do it.
How was it getting back in the studio? I mean, are you in a constant writing process, or do you have to take time away from it in order to get back into it?
Well, you normally, like, we did the conversation. I think the conversation was like 4 years ago, and then we went on tour with that. Went straight into a 25th anniversary record, which we'd gone out to New York to re-record, and then we finished that tour. We literally finished the 25th anniversary tour last year because we were still doing festivals and stuff. And we went from that. In between that, we were doing writing. And then making this record for Jump On Board, and this record was finished just before Christmas. So finishes just before Christmas, and it takes it this long to set it all up.
And thematically, what emotions did you pour into this album? What direction were they coming from?
It felt, do you know what? This is probably the happiest record. I don't know. It's a strange one. It felt we really wanted to make a very positive, upbeat record because we felt that was really what we wanted in our own lives. Like, we wanted to kind of escape from the reality of what's out there. It's not great times, and you're just a bit like, I just need that 3 minutes. So just putting my hands there and having a little dance moment in my kitchen. Do you know that kind of feeling of just shutting all down, making it all go away? And that was what we tried to create with this record, just that little bit of escapism, and that was our biggest achievement. That was what we were really trying to achieve.
How easy is that to kind of channel concentrated happiness?
I don't know. I think that was just the headspace we were in because sometimes you walk into a record and you start writing a record and there's feelings and emotions and thoughts that sometimes are like hidden in the back of your head that come from years ago, and you don't know they're going to come out on certain records. And basically, this record just headed that way, and it was a very easy record to make and a very enjoyable record to make as well.
I was going to ask whether you still enjoy the whole process, because you just casually dropped in a few years ago. It was your 25th anniversary in the business. I remember first hearing about you during a period of my life, I was obsessed with the whole Glasgow music scene. I was going to see bands like Love and Money, and the Railway Children and Hip Sway, exactly.
Which Johnny was in, yeah.
Yeah, completely. And then I remember hearing, I Don't Want to Love Her, which was, 20 years ago.
89.
Ridiculous. I know. We've not aged, either of us, which is the good news in all of this.
Speak for yourself.
But, that was such a fertile period in Glaswegian music history around that whole time. How did it feel to be part of that scene and then just grow and grow?
It's weird, I never ever felt any part of any scene at all.
Really?
No, I never have. I felt part of my band, and that's it. I'm a bit like, this is it. It's us. It's us against the world, sort of thing. I wanted to be a pirate when I was a little girl, and I kind of I'm living my dream now. I'm like, I get on the tour bus with the band, and off we go. We come into towns and cities. We take over for a couple hours, and then we leave everybody like riled up and ready to go. So it's, I've never been a big scene person at all. I'm quite happy to play my own tune.
And when you walked, you kind of danced to the beat of your own drum. When you first walked into a record company as a very attractive front woman, did the record exec start?
I wouldn't say. Honestly, I wouldn't say that because I walked in as a woman. Yeah, in my brain, I was a girl, really, and I remember getting called a dodgy boiler.
What?
Well, because I didn't, I was always very androgynous looking. I look a bit like a boy. Yeah, that look works is kind of like okay now. But I wasn't, I wasn't all made up.
That's what I was saying.
I was in a pair of dirty jeans, a t-shirt and bike boots.
But were the execs rubbing their hands together going, right, we can mould her into this sex symbol?
You get the typical thing, like, who's she, what's she? And then, you get everything that goes along with it where, you dress a certain way. They decide.
Did they try and change you?
Yeah, they were like, oh, you need a bit more sexy. But it's like, we dug our heels in. I've got to say that my band completely supported me through all of that. And we stuck together like hard of like, no, not going to happen. You're not going to get that. That's not going to work. And it wasn't till we made White on Blonde in 97, when that came out, that I stepped forward, that I was like, okay, it was the first time I'd been photographed on my own. And it was always band shots. It was still a band shot in the album, but it was very much like, no.
You never wanted to be that person.
It took that length of time to make it absolutely definite that Texas were a band and not just me. And we worked hard at it, and I still do. I still work, still work really hard at saying, I don't care what you say.
Do you think that's helped with your longevity? Because a lot of women who really use their sexuality in order to market themselves, I suppose, or perhaps were coerced by record companies. I don't want to get into that discussion, but as they've got older, as they've been around longer, have they faced different challenges?
Well, no, I think that as far as I feel that I used my sexuality, definitely. For me, when I was on the front cover of White on Blonde and I've got my jumper pulled up and all you can see my eyes, for me in my brain, I'm like, that's dead sexy. I'm thinking that, and music and sexy goes hand in hand. That's what it's all about. So for me, it was I think if you want to do sexy, like, overtly sexy, you go down that path. It's, if you know what you want, then absolutely you will succeed about it. But Texas was all about, we knew exactly what we wanted, we knew exactly how we wanted to be viewed, and we knew exactly what we wanted to do. And that's what gave us the longevity. So if you're going down the sexy route, if you stick with it and that's always the vision that you had and you continue to work through it, then you'll have longevity.
Sharleen, I read that you were bullied a lot at school.
Yeah, I was.
How did that affect your confidence? Because, of course, once you're on stage and once, of course, you're poured over by, music press, and luckily, of course, in the 80s and 90s, we didn't, thankfully, have the Instagram and the Twitter, essentially the kind of things that your daughter has to deal with now, who's 14. But how did that bullying affect your self-confidence?
I don't know that it affected my self-confidence at the time. It was just a really horrible period. I would have been it was between the ages of about 13 and 14. So it was a whole year of my life, and it was just the most horrible year ever. It was not a nice time to be, getting spat on, getting your hair pulled, getting, people running at you behind, hitting you with like school bags and everything. It was not good. And, I was really geeky and I was really quiet and I changed schools and I just didn't fit in. But I never wanted to fit in, and you know, I did question it myself at a point, like why am I here? You know, why am I in this school with these people? I've got nothing in common with them. And you know what? Now, thank God I had nothing in common with them. You know, I look at it now, but I do feel that it formed a certain part of me that when I need to stand up, to, for instance, from the very day of getting signed to the record company, of getting called a dodgy boiler, literally I was like, really? And it was dig really deep, and you'll be, you know, you will regret ever saying that. And it does make you, and it's like, honestly, when I see someone else getting picked on, or someone else getting, you know, bullied in some different form, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, the industry that I work in is very bullying. And it's, you know, it definitely fires me up. So it does take me right back to being that, you know, that 14-year-old, that 13, 14-year-old who's literally going, oh no. So what happens is, literally sometimes I can feel it like rumbling underneath, and then I just like dig in, and I can be really hard when I want to. So it formed that side of me very much, because I was a bit like airy-fairy before that. I was a bit like, woohoo, the world's beautiful, everybody's great.
Did any of the people who bullied you ever reach out to you once you became famous to try and apologise?
No, never. Nope. It's
That's
weird, you know. I haven't seen anyone from school. I can't say that the years at school were at any point ever enjoyable. And you know, I'm the kind of person that literally, people go out to me school, I go, ugh. But definitely it was a period in my life that formed the adult that I am now. And
how do you protect your 14-year-old knowing that you went through that around the same age that she is now?
I do things like, you know, it's certain things, especially my daughter goes to girls' school, so for me, I'm really, really aware of it. And I think at a certain point, especially with girls, they're fighting for their place within the class, within the school. You know, it's a bit like run around. They change. It's everything. But you know what? It's I'm there for my daughter and saying, you know, I try as hard as you can. And we all know as parents that our children don't tell us everything. There's no way they tell us everything. It's like they'll tell you what they want to tell you. And sometimes you really got to pry everything out of them. And it's just finding a way of talking and explaining. And you know what? My parents spoke to my mum, spoke about everything to me, but she just didn't at all at any point to us that I was getting bullied, or that,
Really?
hadn't seen it at all. And that basically I was just literally like downing bottles of Benylin every night to get to sleep. Just didn't even click on it.
Really? So
Yeah.
you were self-medicating just to get yourself some rest?
It was just, it's that really strange thing. You'd come in from school and you'd be hyper, and you would think, oh God, it stopped. And then you would go back to like being at home with your sister and everything, doing your thing. And then bedtime would come and you think, oh no, it's all going to start again tomorrow. And I'd got a really bad cold. My mum had given me some Benylin, and I felt I'd been on it for a couple of days to help my cough and everything, and it really made me sleep. So what I was doing was I ended up spending pocket money on bottles of Benylin to try and help me sleep.
Just unbelievably dangerous.
Really dangerous. You know, so you've just got to kind of like keep talking to your kids. Obviously, you've got to talk about different things, because you are talking about social media and everything. And, you know, literally, I try and keep as much an eye on my child's social media as any parent does. And, you know, and I say to her, it's like, my biggest fear, the weirdest thing is, my biggest fear is that my child will be a bully rather than being bullied. I would rather she was bullied than was a bully. And, you know, I just say to her, try, and if you know, some people say don't get involved, but I'll be like, look out for your mates, keep your friends close, you know, just if anyone's got a problem, like talk about it. Sometimes it's not as easy for your friend to talk to their own parents, but if they talk to you as a friend, then it's always good to be able to like turn to someone else.
You're listening to 5 Live. It's afternoon edition, 2 now. We're here with Sharleen Spiteri, the brand new album out a couple of days ago, wasn't it? 21st it came
Came out
out
on Friday, yep.
Jump on board.
Yes.
Are you going to play the new single?
We are. I'm like this. I'm going, oh, okay. She's now going to sing a happy song.
Let's hear it. This is Texas then, live on 5 Live, and Tell That Girl.
Try to figure out what it all means. That's a sunset song. If you don't tell her, tell that girl.
Amazing. Charlene, thank you very much. Tony McGovern, thank you to you as well. Backing vocals and guitar there.
Yay.
And finely toned arms. Thank you very much indeed for that.
Sharleen Spiteri of Texas is here. Thank you so much for that great song we just heard. The new album, of course, is out now.
It is.
called
Please go and buy it.
Go and buy it, and go and buy it on cassette.
I know. How cool is that?
You really brought it out on cassette?
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I was like a little girl in a sweet shop. I literally was like, please, can we have a cassette? Please, we'll get yellow vinyl, which I was very happy about. Get black vinyl. We always do vinyl with all the Texas records, but this time it was like cassette. You know, I noticed that a few people had been like, there'd been a few cassettes kicking about recently, and I thought, oh yes, the season of the cassette is back.
I would love to get a copy of that. I bought a tin recently that's kind of in the shape of an old tape recorder. You know, the whole record and play ones. And my 9-year-old walked in and went, "What's that?"
Yeah, well, it's weird. It's funny when you pull things out, because I went like this, and Misty said, my daughter, she went, I think I've seen one of those before. And you literally go, shut up.
And she's 14, but she's a vinyl fan, isn't she?
She loves her vinyl, yeah. She really likes it. She loves getting her really like special editions of things. And she's especially into K-pop music as well, just Korean pop music. And they do some really beautiful, like, you know, editions of vinyl and stuff like that. And you get loads of stuff with it. So she really likes that. And a couple of years ago, I bought her first record player, which I took great joy in doing. Yeah. Do you know that when you're just like, yes, she likes records. Good.
You raised a good one.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that yet.
Yeah, give us time. You're on the right track. I read Damon Albarn's the new Gorillaz album is out, and he's actually collaborating with a few people on the album that he admits he hadn't really heard of, but his daughter was massively into them. And he said, even though she's now kind of an older teenager, I still try and do stuff to impress her. Do you agree with that?
I mean, the thing is, because you just become the guest list supplier. Honest to God, literally, like, can you get me tickets for that? Can you get me tickets for that? Can you get me tickets for that? It's kind of that kind of thing. No, it's there are certain things that you can impress them with, you know, and take them to certain TV shows, and it's funny, you know, they look at you in slightly different eyes, you know, like we did a thing yesterday and Tiny Temper was doing it, and I know Tiny from like really well, and we've done like Top Gear together and everything, and Misty never met Tiny, and he's like, yeah, blah, 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 your mum talks about you all the time. And you can just see my daughter's face glazing, like she's looking at me going,
what, my mum?
My mum? You're talking about my mum? And I'm like, yeah, your mum, your mother.
Still got it.
Yeah.
Let's hear another song, please. I know you've got to head off soon. We've had the new single. Let's hear an oldie. What are you going to play?
Well, we thought we were kind of like going, oh, there's so many. So we thought we'd give you a little bit of Summer Sun and try and get it to come out, will it to come out again.
Let's hear it. It's Texas Live on 5 Live.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm over you. I'm over you.
I'm over you.
On a very personal level, what a treat for a Monday afternoon to have a private gig from Texas. Thank you so much, Sharleen.
Thank you for having us.
Really nice to meet you. Tony on guitar as well, who I'm not quite tall enough to see over my monitor, but I shall wave. Hello, Tony. Nice to see you. When's the tour start, Sharleen?
We start, we've got Isle of Wight Festival, we've got Carfest, we've got Kelvin Grove Park in Glasgow, 3 nights in August, and then the tour kicks off from that September, October, November into Europe, finish off in December.
Cracking stuff. Lovely to see you. And Tex's new album, Jump On Board, is out now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're listening to a BBC 5 Live podcast.
If you like this, you might also like this.
The 5 Live Consumer Team, featuring Martin Lewis.
Does it have to be this complicated?
Sometimes I make it more complicated because I want to dot all the I's and T's.
To find out more about our range of podcasts, click, tap or swipe bbc.co.uk/5live.